Итак, тема данного видео – как быстро выучить неправильные глаголы. Действительно, я думаю, это очень интересная тема, и действительно, давай с вами ответим на эти вопросы. How to learn irregular verbs. Как выучить неправильные глаголы. How to learn irregular. Да, вы знаете, что regular – это правильные, а вот irregular – это неправильно. How to learn irregular verbs and how to do it fast. И как сделать это быстро. And how to do it fast. Как сделать это быстро? Maybe you have your own ideas. Возможно, у вас есть свои собственные мысли. Maybe you have your own ideas. Ваши собственные идеи. And you can share your experience with us. И вы можете поделиться. And you can share your experience. Вы можете поделиться своим опытом с нами. And you can share your experience with us. Как говорится, why not? Почему нет? Why not? Why not? You're welcome. Да, you're welcome. Окей. Но мы продолжаем с вами как раз говорить. И вопрос также, how many irregular verbs do you need to know? How many? Как много? How many irregular verbs? How many irregular verbs do you need to know? Do you need to know? Тебе нужно знать. Really, how many irregular verbs do you need to know? I think it depends on your level. Я думаю, это зависит от твоего уровня. I think it depends on your level. Это зависит от твоего уровня. If you are a beginner, если ты новичок, if you are a beginner, I suppose, if you are a beginner, I suppose that you need to know about 30, maybe 40 irregular verbs. Yeah, that you need to know. That you need to know about 30 or 40 irregular verbs. Irregular verbs. Yeah, неправильных глаголов. 30-40 неправильных глаголов. Okay, so elementary students. Значит, студенты с уровнем elementary students know, I think between 50 and 100 and 100. So if your level is upper intermediate, если твой уровень, if you have a strong intermediate level or if your level is upper intermediate, so if you have a strong, если у вас сильный уровень intermediate, if you have a strong intermediate level, you need to know, тебе нужно знать, you need to know, тебе нужно знать more than 120. Yes, and if your level is upper intermediate, you need to know more than I think about 200. Yeah, and if your level is upper intermediate, you need to know more than, I think, between 150 and 200. Yes, so it's very important things. Okay, and really, how to do it? So there is one very good method which really works. There is one very good method which really works, который реально работает, which really works. Make cards. Делайте карточки. Make cards with irregular verbs, с неправильными глаголами. Make cards with irregular verbs, yeah. And make a dictation. И делайте диктант себе. And make a dictation for yourself, для себя. For yourself. Берите, take cards, берите карточки, take cards in a different order. в различном порядке. Take a card in a different order. Берите карточки в различном порядке. Take cards in a different order. And then, и затем, and then write it. И затем пишите. And then write the forms. Пишите формы. Then write the forms. Yeah, and you can check it. You can check it. Вы можете проверить это в конце. You can check it in the end and see your result. And see your result. И увидеть свой результат. And see your result. This method, этот метод очень эффективный. This method is very effective. This method is very effective. Этот метод на самом деле очень эффективный. This method is very effective. Okay? Okay, next. Pronunciation is also very important. Pronunciation. Произношение также очень важно, да? Pronunciation. Pronunciation. Pronunciation is also. Произношение также очень важно. Pronunciation is also very important. Okay, so you can look. Вы можете смотреть на транскрипцию. You can look at the transcription. На транскрипцию. You can look at the transcription. If you know it. Ну, если вы ее знаете. If you know it. And you can, и вы можете смотреть, and you can watch videos. And you can watch videos on YouTube. И вы смотреть можете видео на YouTube. For example, да, на YouTube, например. And you can watch videos on YouTube. For example, yeah, if you want to pronounce it correctly, if you want to pronounce, если вы хотите произносить это правильно, if you want to pronounce it correctly, if you want to pronounce it correctly, okay, it's also very important. Okay, what else? Что еще? What else? You can make up your own examples with irregular verbs. You can make up, вы можете составить, you can make up your own examples, свои собственные примеры. You can make up your own examples with irregular verbs. With irregular verbs, I'm sure this kind of practice, такого рода практика, this kind of practice will help you, поможет тебе, will help you memorize them, поможет тебе запомнить их, will help you memorize them much better, намного лучше, will help you memorize them much better, okay? Next, so you need to read more, and listen to English speech more. Тебе нужно читать больше, слушать больше английской речи and English speech more. If you do it, whether you want it or not, видите, такое есть слово weather, не путайте, weather это погода, а weather есть другое совершенно слово. Вот как раз это другое слово, whether you want it or not, хотите вы того или нет, такой оборот, whether you want it or not, you'll remember, вы запомните, you'll remember most common English words. Вы запомните, значит, most common English irregular. Вы запомните наиболее употребляемые неправильные глаголы. Most common English irregular verbs. Okay? And do you really need to know, действительно вам нужно знать, let's say, скажем, 220 irregular verbs. Допустим, 220, к примеру, неправильный глагол. I doubt. Я сомневаюсь. So, I doubt. Okay, so we can also make a video. Мы также можем сделать видео. We can also make a video only in English, только на английском языке, only in English, on our second channel, на нашем втором канале, on our second channel, English professionally. Ну, если, конечно, вам понравится данная идея, if you like this idea, or if you support this idea. Okay, next. Other methods exist too. Другие методы существуют также. Other methods exist too. For example, например, other methods exist too. Okay, so what is next? Other methods exist too. For example, you can put irregular verbs into groups. Вы можете сортировать. You can put irregular verbs into groups. Вы можете разбить их на группы. Неправильные глаголы. Or you can, вы можете учить какие-то стихотворения. You can learn English poems with irregular verbs. С неправильными глаголами. But I believe, но я верю, but I believe that it's good, it's quite good, это достаточно хорошо, but the first methods, но первые методы, but the first methods mentioned in this video, упомянутые в этом видео, mentioned in this video, can help more. It's from my experience. Это из моего опыта. It's from my experience. It's from my experience. So if your experience is different, please let us know. If your experience, если ваш опыт другой, if your experience is different, please, пожалуйста, дайте нам знать. Please let us know. Let us know. Ну, у нас все спонтанно, информативно, но повторяем все, да? Ревизию, как пройти revision. So, really, how to learn irregular verbs and how to do it fast. Maybe you have your own ideas and you can share your experience with us. Why not? You are welcome. How many irregular verbs do you need to know? I think it depends on your level. If you are a beginner, I suppose that you need to know about 30 or 40 irregular verbs. Elementary students know between 50 and 100. If you have a strong intermediate level, you need to know more than 120. And if your level is upper intermediate, you need to know between 150 and 200. There is one very good method which really works. Make cards with irregular verbs and make a dictation for yourself. Take cards in a different order and then write the forms. You can check it in the end and see your result. This method is very effective. Pronunciation is also very important. Yeah, right. You can look at the transcription, so if you know it, and you can watch videos on YouTube, for example, if you want to pronounce it correctly. What else? You can make up your own examples with irregular verbs. I'm sure this kind of practice will help you memorize them much better. You need to read more and listen to English speech more. If you do it, whether you want it or not, you'll remember most common English irregular verbs. Do you really need to know, let's say 220 irregular verbs? I doubt. We can also make a video all in English on our second channel, English Professionally. If you support this idea, other methods exist too. Okay? So, for example, you can put irregular verbs into groups, or you can learn English poems with irregular verbs, but I believe that it's quite good. But the first methods mentioned in this video can help more. It's from my experience. If your experience is different, please let us know.